Hey guys, it's Eric, and I had to do a special introduction for this week's episode of Get to the Hook. Something really bizarre happened. So, this episode is about wild onstage moments because of the Coldplay CEO video we've all seen a million times at this point. And when you talk about wild onstage moments, there's no way not to talk about Ozzy Osbourne biting the head off of a bat. So, that is in this episode. But we recorded this episode the day before Ozzy Osbourne died. We had no idea. Charles is not here, so we can't do a proper tribute to Ozzy Osbourne. So I just wanted to say that as you listen to this one, when we start talking about Ozzy and we don't mention him dying, that is why. This was recorded the day before, just weird, bizarre timing. And we, of course, will do a proper tribute to Ozzy sometime very soon because the man's a legend and absolutely deserves it. So otherwise, I hope you enjoy this week's episode of Get to the Hook.
Welcome to Get to the Hook. I am your co-host, Charles Latibeaudiere.
And I'm your co-host, Eric Colley.
And we have another co-host with us. Well, he's like America's co-host now. That would be Andy Byron, the man who's single-handedly put Coldplay, I won't say back on the map. Obviously, there's no disrespect intended here about Coldplay. They're selling out stadiums on their tour. So I'm not saying that they're not popular. I'm just saying
they're very
they haven't
relevant.
been spoken about. Yes,
Yeah.
They're more relevant than they've been in a long time. So we're going to be talking today about not just about Coldplay, obviously what happened with Andy Byron and Kristen Cabot from Astronomer. He's formerly from Astronomer.
Right, and she's on leave.
And she is on leave at this moment as we speak. Who knows by the time you're hearing this what will have happened. But that moment on the Jumbotron where the funniest part about it was that Chris Martin, in the moment, just said what anybody would say.
And thought it was a joke.
Jokingly. And it turns out the joke was 100% accurate.
On the 1% off chance you have not seen or heard this in the past week, this is what happened when Coldplay, when they put the camera on the CEO and the head of his HR, who are having an affair together, and pulled away from each other on the kiss cam. This is what Chris Martin said.
Oh, look at these two. All right, come on. You're okay? Oh, what? Either they're having an affair or they're just very shy.
Right the first time.
Wow. This is a little too on the nose, Chris. A little too on the nose. So, look, we're not going to be talking all about, but it did get us thinking about some other shocking moments that have happened live during concerts, because there are quite a few.
Yeah, some are funny,
very
some are
memorable,
gross, some are dangerous. We're not gonna really get into. I was thinking about this. There's some very famous live concerts and moments that were a little too dark for what we're talking about today. So
trying to keep it light.
Yeah, no Astro World, no Stones at Altamont,
right.
No Dimebag Darrell getting shot to death on stage. Those are
exactly. We're keeping it in the same tone of Andy Byron and Coldplay.
Well, there's some kind of darker ones, a little bit.
Certainly darker than the Coldplay moment.
Yeah.
But
did you see the first show Coldplay played after this when they got back on the road? They did the kiss cam thing. Chris Martin didn't really talk about it, but a woman had a sign pointing at the guy next to her, and it just said, "He's not my CEO." Yeah,
I've seen that at a sporting event. Someone was standing next to, I guess his wife says, "This is really my wife."
Well, the Phillies did that. The mascots. Did you
and then
see
the
that?
mascots, the Philly mascots, hugged it and separated. Yeah.
The wildest thing is, I mean, yeah, they were cheating. They were having an affair. That's bad.
Yes.
Does a little bit of you feel sorry for them that their whole lives have been blown
because
up?
They weren't. It's one thing if you are a celebrity, right, and you expect that when you're a public figure. No one heard of Astronomer outside
Never heard of the company.
It's outside of the company's clients. It's an AI firm and not a huge one. So he's not a celebrity, but now he and Kristen are very much celebrities. And
the wildest thing is, if they had not pulled away from each other and just smiled, I'm like, nobody would
have known.
Maybe somebody who worked there might have seen this from the influencer who posted it. Maybe just seen the clip.
Maybe someone in the stadium who works at Astronomer and like, hey, wait a second.
Then you're still busted and you've got to deal with your wife.
You have to do it, but you're doing it quietly and not the entire internet
making memes and
to
jokes
it, making memes about it.
It's like this. Week.
It's very much like dealing with an alligator or a bear in the wild. No sudden moves.
Yeah.
No sudden moves, and you'd have been fine. Just stand there, and the camera would move on.
But it's pretty ballsy if you're cheating to go to a concert with a very large crowd. Could definitely be people you know. This was in Boston, so I mean, Boston's a huge city, but
Yeah.
still, there could be people they know there. And to just be so brazen about it and hugged up on each other, I don't know.
Yeah.
That's not been the only
not-
thing, even the last like couple weeks live. Artists we've seen 3
Yeah.
times now flying over the audience and having disasters. Beyonce took her flying convertible out over her crowd on her Cowboy Carter tour, and it fell over on one side. Katy Perry got trapped in a sphere, like there's like bars, like a
Yeah.
bird cage that lurched forward. And then Katy, again, was riding a giant space butterfly because it's a Katy Perry concert.
Because
Did
why
you see
not?
the video of that where it drops really quickly for a second?
Yes.
That looked terrifying. And not just for her, it would have crushed the people underneath her.
And especially because she just had that incident a couple of weeks ago in the Sphere thing. It's like, Katie, you in danger, girl. You in danger.
To quote Whoopi Goldberg.
Like something's not going right.
This is like ridiculous Final Destination.
Yeah.
Like it's going to get you in a sphere or on a giant flying space butterfly.
I get the desire to put on as fantastical a show as you can, especially for people like Katy Perry and Beyonce, where that's fans have come to expect that as part of your staging. Just keep it on the stage.
Yeah.
Keep it on the stage. Guess what? It's still impressive if you're flying, over the stage. Once you start going out over a whole stadium,
Or you could do it like Pink does it, where she does the acrobatics
Yes.
with the ropes and things. I mean, it's still dangerous for her. And
yeah,
but even if she falls, you're not going to take out 100 people in the audience below you.
right.
I don't know. So yeah, wild stage things. I was trying to think some of the most infamous, iconic, cartoonish moments on stage. And one, it blows my mind when I thought about this. Like we said, the reason this whole Coldplay thing is blown up because it went viral on social media.
Right.
Going back in the day when there were no cell phones, to have a viral concert moment that there are no photos or video of because nobody had those then.
But people just by word of mouth that
became
means- yeah.
It wasn't meme. It wasn't a meme. It wasn't viral. It was legendary and mythical at this point. Talking about January 1982, the Diary of a Madman tour. Ozzy Osbourne pulls into Des
Boom, boom.
Moines, Iowa.
Boom, 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 boom.
Yeah, let's. You know what? Let's. There's no video of this happening, so let's just play some Crazy Train.
Going off the rails on a crazy train.
You like the picture I put with that?
I love the photo that if you're not watching this on YouTube, you can see the photo that we did. This is Ozzy with a bat, just the wing of the bat.
A rubber bat. This is him
rubber
recreating it.
bat,
A
yes.
little joking. So there's no photo or video of this when this happened. This is legendary in music history. Ozzy Osbourne biting the head off of a bat live on stage. So the story of how this happened, Ozzy has told this many times, and I think this is true. He thought it was a rubber toy that a fan threw on the stage. What it was a 17-year-old fan in Des Moines found a dead bat outside of an elementary school, put it in his freezer to keep until the Ozzy show, took it to the show, threw it on the stage. Ozzy thinks, oh, it's a prop. Somebody threw a
Yeah.
little toy up here, and grabs it and
And wants
bites
to-
the head off. The quote Ozzy said was, when he realized what was actually happening, he said, "My mouth was instantly full of this warm, gloopy liquid with the worst aftertaste you could ever imagine. I could feel it staining my teeth and running down my chin."
Oh,
Because it's a dead bat, which is,
I don't.
I mean, better for the bat.
Honestly, Ozzy's the one who's taken all the heat for this over the decades. But the kid is a little more twisted.
Who smuggles a
I mean,
dead bat into a
Ozzy's
concert?
just trying to put on a show, right? And thought it was a prop. I get that, right? He's just doing the most outrageous thing he can visually. He's thinking, not knowing what it was. But this kid knew that he was carrying around a dead bat, storing it at home, and then bringing it to the show.
And I don't know how far into the show it was that happened, but how many songs are you keeping this dead bat on you before you can fling it on the stage?
And what's up with security? See, this is another thing. Back then, there was no one take out your bag.
Well, how
empty
would
it
you know
out.
if he had it like hidden in his shirt? It's not going to set off a metal detector. How would you know? And you wouldn't be looking for it.
You wouldn't pat him down? This is why you gotta pat him down. Just gotta check any
Is that a dead bat in your
mammals.
pocket? Are you just glad to see me? Like, what would you even think it was? I don't know.
If someone had just asked that question, Eric. Is that a dead bat, sir?
And people have thought that this didn't happen, that it was made up.
Because it was
and
so
outrageous. And
Yeah.
Ozzy said no, that he would never have done this because he had 3 weeks worth of rabies shots after that. and he had to have them 3 a day, I think, in his arm, his butt, and his thigh, and they were very painful. He said he would, had he known, he definitely would not have done it because he would not have volunteered for those rabies shots.
Oh my God.
But I think he softened on it over the years because in
So to
2019, in 2019 on his website, do you remember this? Ozzy sold a plush bat with a Velcro detachable head for $40, and it instantly sold out.
Oh gosh,
You know,
brilliant.
you might as well cash in on it.
Brilliant. I
It's,
mean,
it's
all
a
those
loving
years
tribute to
later,
that bat,
Yeah.
to be remembered.
R.I.P. to the bat.
R.I.P. to that bat. Going a little further back, this is so iconic, and there is video of this. So we're going to play a little bit of the video. If you're listening to this, it's probably not going to sound like a whole lot, but you know what we're talking about
You
here.
will absolutely know the moment.
The Monterey Pop Festival, 1967, which was actually not the first time he had done this. Jimi Hendrix is performing the song Wild Thing, and then takes lighter fluid out, lays his guitar on the stage, douses it, throws a match, and the video of him with his fingers just waggling, coaxing the flames out of this guitar is so iconic. This is a little bit of that clip. Just like a man possessed.
I always think that could have gone so wrong when he's squirting the lighter fluid. The flame's already up, and he's squirting. I mean, like, it can come back on you.
And he's wearing like velvet and
Yes,
fringe
I'm
and all
sure
those like
there's
late 60s
Probably a lot of
hippie
polyester
trappings
in there or something.
Oh, man.
Like,
Very flammable.
yes, extremely flammable. So the first time he did it, was it the Hawaii show?
I think so. I think that was the first
Well, I
time.
think it
And then
was-
I think Monterey was maybe second, but that was the
Yeah.
most iconic. And after he burned it, he smashed the guitar on stage and then threw it in the crowd. And a chunk of that is in a museum. It's at the Met in New York. A little piece,
Really?
it's like a tiny little fragment of it, and they have it on display. And they should. It seems ridiculous to have a small chunk of a broken guitar in a museum, but that is so
When you are
iconic.
as iconic as Jimi Hendrix is, and your career was cut as short as his was, yeah, every little thing of your career suddenly becomes museum worthy.
Yeah. Did you ever hear what he said about why he did that? And it's such a Jimi Hendrix thing to say. He said, "The time I burned my guitar, it was like a sacrifice. You sacrifice the things you love. I love my guitar."
That's a Jimmy thing to
That's
say.
a very Jimi Hendrix hippie era thing to say.
He did love his guitars.
Around that same time, another infamous live performance, there's no video of this, when Jim Morrison allegedly exposed himself. He invited a ton of fans on stage. He was in Florida. Allegedly said he was going to
Yeah.
expose himself to the crowd and got in trouble for that. I don't think that ever actually happened.
Really?
That concert and that moment happened.
Right.
But
You don't think he actually exposed?
the
Again,
concert promoter who got on stage and took the mic away from him because Jim Morrison was out of his mind. He was super drunk. Probably I
that
don't know
part
what.
checks out.
So he took the mic away from him and he goes, "I never saw it." The band members said, "We never saw that." Ray Manzarek, the keyboardist, said, "It never actually happened. It was mass hypnosis." That we just believe it happened.
That everyone, right? Because the fans are there and they know what they expect Jim Morrison to do.
Yeah,
So
he said he was going to, I think. He talked about doing it,
right.
but never actually did it. So that one's sort of apocryphal, I guess, in music history, that he exposed himself on stage. Didn't
Didn't do it, but everyone is like, he would have.
he would have. Yeah. Not like he changed his mind.
We'll give him the credit for it because, it's something he would have done.
This one's kind of dark. Iggy Pop, through some miracle, is still alive and still with us. I saw Superman this weekend, and he's on the soundtrack with, I think, a new song.
Oh, really?
And it's like, good for you, Iggy Pop. He's somebody that turned his life around a bit from where he was in the 70s. He was in the throes of horrible heroin addiction. And in 1974, everything about this is horrible. He wanted to harm himself on stage and had a steak knife. And there was an audience member in the front. It was a black audience member. And he tried to put the knife in their hand and get them to stab him. And the person was like, "No, thank you."
Nope, not going to do
So
it.
he starts using slurs and calling the person racial slurs to try and goad them into stabbing him. He's trying to make this person angry. They're still like, "Nah, I'm good."
Right.
So Iggy takes the knife and carves into his own chest on stage. Some people think he carved the letter X. It's sort of hard to tell because there are photos of it. I mean, just blood everywhere. And the most ridiculous thing of it is his guitar player had to drag him off the stage. His guitar player, who at the time was dressed in a Nazi uniform because, it's 1974 punk rock. It's like, wow. Everything about this is bad.
Yeah. So earlier when you said some of them are dark, this would be the dark one.
This is
would
the
be
dark
the
one.
super, super dark one.
This one and this next one. Have you ever heard of Gigi Allen? You know who that is?
Mm-mm.
He was a punk performance artist in the late 80s. Oh, he used to threaten to kill himself every Halloween on stage and never did it. But for, I think, 3 of the Halloweens he said he was going to do it, he was actually in prison or in jail for whatever. He also had addiction
Heroin.
issues. His thing became, this is really gross, he would take X-Lax before the show and defecate on the
No.
stage and throw it at the audience.
How many? Could only be one concert, and that would be it.
Why would you go
As
ever?
a promoter, I'm not booking him. As the venue, I'm not booking him.
I think
No.
that eventually is kind of what happened. And sadly, he died of an overdose in 93. He never got to get himself cleaned up the way that Iggy Pop did.
Did you really want to say he never got to clean himself?
Oh, I didn't even. Oh, God, I
Really?
really didn't do that on
Really?
purpose.
Wow, Eric. So insensitive, sir.
I'm sorry.
Too
Really,
soon.
that was not on purpose.
Too soon.
Uh,
Poor Gigi Allen.
Poor Gigi Allen. You go to punk shows, especially like in the 70s and 80s.
I don't care how punk you are. You don't want that.
Nobody wants that.
There's no fan at his show going, yeah,
Oh,
put it on me. No,
Oh, God.
no. That's
You don't
when-
want to say, yeah, 'cause it
that's-
might hit in your mouth.
That's when you go, you know what? It's time for me to take up some pop music. Maybe where's like a Britney Spears show?
Yeah, this was before Britney, but you could have seen New Kids.
Yeah.
Gone to a Milli Vanilli show, perhaps.
Oh
This was
man.
89 that happened. Milli Vanilli had a famous onstage moment. That's what was their undoing. The CD skipped on them.
Now that was harmless and fun.
Yeah.
There's a good one. There's a nice harmous fun one.
Well, until Rob Pilatus wound up eventually dying 9 years later. But
Wow, you were just bound and determined to bring us down today, Eric.
all right, this next one sounds like it could have been bad, but it actually wound up being kind of cool. So we haven't even gotten into stars falling on stage yet. That is just a rite of
Yeah,
passage.
that one happens pretty frequently.
We've seen a couple in the last few years, some famous ones. There's been a couple where there's a trap door in the middle of the stage. Usually the artist will rise up through it, and somebody forgets to close it.
Always go.
Olivia Rodrigo took a spill into one. Post Malone fell real hard into one. Luke Bryan has fallen off the stage. We've seen some bad tumbles in the last few years, but one of the most epic ones, I think, was in 2015 in Gothenburg, Sweden. The Foo Fighters are on the stage.
Isn't that Gothenburg?
Gothenburg, Sweden. Yeah. I think they were only into the second song, and Dave Grohl fell hard off the stage and broke his leg and dislocated his foot. And the crowd was there, and they got it on video. And it's cool to listen to Dave talking to the crowd as he's on a stretcher, by the way. If you're listening to this and you can't see it, he's laying on a stretcher, and this is what went down.
I think I just broke my leg. I think I really broke my leg. Right now, I'm gonna go to the hospital. I'm gonna fix my leg. But then I'm gonna come back. And we're gonna play for you again.
And so he leaves the stage, and there are only 2 songs in. So Taylor Hawkins, who's the drummer, R.I.P., became sort of the front man in that moment. He came out from behind the drums, and he's like, okay, well, we're going to come back and play for you guys at some point. Not tonight. He was like, this concert's done. We're going to play a little bit, and they were playing Under Pressure by Queen.
Mm-hmm.
When Dave came back, I don't think the rest of the band realized he was going to finish that show. When he said we're going to come back, he meant
Right.
that night. So Dave went, had a medic take a look at him, and when he comes back on stage, it's really cool. There's video, you can find this. He had a medic holding his ankle in place for about 20 minutes when he came back on stage to make sure it's set, I guess.
Oh,
And he
God.
finished the
now
show.
that's rock and roll.
That is rock and roll. And they didn't even cancel the rest of the tour. I think they had to postpone a few dates immediately after that. But then, if you remember, Dave
Came
performed
up with
a cast and had a throne made out of guitars.
the throne, which lived on then years later when Axl
Guns N' Roses, same thing happened.
And Axl borrowed the actual throne that
Yeah.
he had built for
It was really
Dave.
cool.
Yeah,
Dave designed that himself.
you know, necessity is the mother of invention.
Yeah. So if you fall off stage, that's on you, kind of, unless somebody left the trap door
Depending,
open.
yeah, if someone
But
leaves the trap
cool
door.
to keep playing on. The new thing that's really become like a trend, almost it seems, in the last couple of years, is the audience throwing things. And audiences have always thrown things at artists, but now you can get it caught on tape,
Which is
or on camera.
what prompts people to do it more now.
You can have a viral
because-
moment. You can have something happen, and we're just seeing it more. Billie Eilish got a bracelet thrown at her face recently. Morgan Wallen got stuff thrown at him. Harry Styles got a chicken nugget that beamed him in the head. which he kind of played that off. He goes, "Yeah, I'm a vegetarian. I don't eat chicken,
Yeah.
so I'm not gonna eat this."
He's like, throw up like some broccoli and I'm down. But
Yeah, Nicki Minaj, Zach Bryan, who stopped his show and got really upset about it. Kelsey Ballerini got hit really hard in the face. Remember,
yeah.
I think bruised her eye. Sometimes the artists throw things back. Remember Cardi B? Someone threw a drink on her and
yeah.
she threw a microphone at them.
I think that person lived to regret that.
Yeah, 50 Cent. Remember when he got mad? It wasn't even the person in the audience. His microphone wasn't working. He'd gone through a couple, and he threw it in the crowd and hit this woman in the forehead. I think she was a DJ, like a radio DJ.
He threw it. I think it looked to me like he was throwing it. I mean, he was clearly angry about the technicals.
Not at her.
But threw it, and it bounced and then went out and hit someone in the audience.
And you saw there's a big gash in her forehead.
Yeah. She was a
got her.
DJ, actually. Yeah.
Yeah, she was a local radio DJ. But one of the most infamous ones, do you remember back in 2007? Akon.
Mm-hmm.
Performing on stage.
Yes.
This was so great. And again, we're going to show this clip now. You can hear it and hear the audience's reaction. If you're watching this on YouTube, you can see it. There's a 15-year-old at the front of the stage, and Akon thought the kid threw something at him. And he didn't just get mad and yell at the crowd or storm off stage, which is usually the worst thing artists do. Or sometimes if they see what was thrown at them, maybe they get mad and throw it back, which you shouldn't do. Akon invited the kid up on stage and instantly lifted him over his head and angrily hurled him back into the crowd. He threw the kid.
The first time I saw this, I was like, this is a plant, right? This was that because it was so over the top. I'm like, this is something that was planned, and then it turned out it was not planned.
It was not planned. This is what went down. Just tossed this kid.
The kid got up and was.
The kid was okay. Nobody got seriously hurt, but Akon did wind up paying. He had a $350 fine and had to do 65 hours of community service because of it.
Because you can't just go throwing human beings, man.
Especially a 15-year-old. You can't throw a child into an audience.
That's somebody's child, man.
And I don't know if the kid even is the one who threw something at him.
Oh, there's not sure that is.
We're not. It's never. I don't think it's ever been established that the kid actually did throw anything.
Right.
So if you're the kid and you don't even see that happen, and you're all excited, like, "Oh, I'm getting up on stage with Akon," and
then suddenly, like,
lifts you over
I'm
his
above
head.
Akon.
Yeah, it's like, why is his hand between my legs? Why is he lifting me up?
What is this grown man doing to me? Oh!
One more. If you think tours of the last few years, the most famous tour.
The Eras
It's
Tour.
the Eras Tour. Whether you love Taylor Swift or not, there's no denying how huge that was as a cultural event, as a financial success.
Mm-hmm.
At least 3 times on that tour, Taylor ate a bug.
Yeah, I remember getting those videos. They're like, what's up, man?
Why did it happen so much? This is just one of the instances in her vain hope that somehow nobody saw it happen.
Swallowed a bug. I'm so sorry. Is there any chance that none of you saw that?
Oh, we all saw it. We've all seen it now. Whether you were at the tour or not, you've seen it now.
After it happened the second time, I was like, what kind of mouthwash is she using? Because something
Something nice, I guess.
Something is attracting the bugs. I don't know.
I mean, I've heard of this happening to other artists. I know it happened to Cyndi Lauper once. She swallowed a beetle and almost choked on it because beetles are kind of big.
Yeah.
And the sad thing in the Taylor video, we talk about like the dark videos. This is one of them because right before that happens, you can see a bug kind of swirling around her. That bug was in the final seconds of its life. It's really tragic. It died on stage. That's sad.
Boy, I mean, what people will do to go to a Taylor Swift show.
Right.
I'm just going to listen to 3 songs, then that's fine. She can eat me. That's fine.
I mean, she did say it was delicious. So good for you, Bug. But yeah, when you do outdoor shows, rain and bugs and
outdoor
lightning.
shows. And also you're increasing the probability of it when you play for like 3.5 hours.
Yeah.
Like Taylor. So
the bugs are like, shut her up. One of you, get in there.
Is this thing still going?
Have you ever, you love going to concerts. Have you ever had any really wild, weird moments?
I'm trying to decide what I should say what I shouldn't
okay. Wait, not for you personally.
No,
I
not
don't
for
even
me
know what you were
personally.
doing.
Just the things I've witnessed happening in the crowd, but no, I've never
know.
seen anything extreme on stage that I can remember. I don't think so. No.
Oh, interesting.
Nothing like too wild. No. No, not that I remember.
The only two.
I'm just about the music, man. I'm not there for all the, the pomp and circumstance.
Well,
Right?
sometimes that
I
happens.
just want the music.
Once, remember when Motley Crue was on one of, I don't know, their 3rd or 4th farewell tour? and Tommy Lee always has the wild drum kits. And there's
Right.
the one where he had
The
a
roller
full
coaster.
roller coaster, and it was at the Staples Center, which is now a Crypto.com arena. I was at that show when he got stuck.
Oh, yes, when it hung upside
He
down.
got hung upside down.
Yeah.
It was like he was just going around the track, and it was like, oh, this isn't good. It kind of stopped the show for a while. The other funny one, it seems mild now, but I remember seeing the Smashing Pumpkins in the late 90s. And first song, they go on late, and the stage is all dark while they're playing, and we're all like, yay! And then right after that, and nobody had cell phones with cameras and stuff back then, he stops the show and screams for the lighting to bring the house lights up. And we're like, what is happening? We're one song in. I guess some kid in the front threw a quarter on stage. And he's like, who threw it? Who threw it? Like full furious.
Quarter?
He's like, was it you? It was you. Security, get him out of here. And they drag this like 15-year-old out. And as they're dragging him out the doors, Billy Corgan goes, call your mom and tell her you made her real proud tonight. Like,
Over a
what?
quarter?
What could have hit him in the head? I guess if you're hurling change at somebody on stage.
I guess.
Kind of obnoxious.
I guess, but
But we were just like, wow, this has set the tone for the rest of this concert now. Because it was like, is he going to yell at us?
you know what? I was just complaining about this yesterday, so it's kind of the same thing. I've always said I've been going to baseball games for roughly 50 years,
Okay.
and I've never, ever
You saw Babe Ruth?
caught. Shut up, Barry. Never caught like foul ball, a home run, nothing. Balls never come near me. Same thing at these. I've been going to concerts for not 50 years, 40
A while.
years, and never had anything that outrageous happen at a concert where like you think just by happenstance, like
something. You think something
over
would happen.
40 years going to on average three concerts a year.
Yeah.
Some years, certainly younger, there were more than that, but
120 shows we're talking there.
yeah, and nothing.
Just
Nothing.
music and performance?
Just great music.
Ah.
Usually,
what a ripoff.
usually great music. There have been a couple.
Like who?
I'm not. I will say this: one of my worst concerts were two of my favorite artists, and I don't know what happened that night.
What? Now you have to tell me. Doesn't mean you dislike them. Maybe they just had an off night.
Steve Winwood and Eric Clapton were touring together.
Oh, wait, which era is this? Because that could be.
This
it's
was-
a long span of years there.
This was like a reunion sort of. It was
Yeah.
like in the 2000s,
Okay.
I think.
So they were older,
They were older, and I wasn't expecting like high energy.
flying
but
on space butterflies.
I just wanted a better song selection,
Oh.
and left very disappointed. But it's all right. It's okay.
Oh, if sometimes because they only played the hits or they didn't play the hits. Because it depends on. Some people really want one or the other.
They only didn't play the hits.
Oh no, nothing.
It was nothing but like Blind Faith and Traffic deep cuts, like
Oh.
deep cuts. Anyway,
That's disappointing.
yeah.
But-
I never saw anybody bite a head off a bat. So when you grow up with that in mind as like a wild moment, then nothing's gonna measure up.
That's true. And again, it's so weird. Maybe that seems bigger now because we've all had to imagine it because there's not video of it.
Yes.
Maybe if we actually saw it, I don't know if that'd be better or worse. But could you imagine if something like that happened now? I mean, look at the chaos over a CEO cheating on his wife that none of us had ever heard of.
Right.
If you saw a huge rock god bite the head off an animal on stage,
We're not saying we want it to happen.
No,
So we're
don't do
clear.
that.
We're not saying we want it to happen for the sake of the animal and the artist.
I mean, the bat was already dead.
Don't bring dead animals to a concert. And
You shouldn't
If
have to
you're-
tell people that.
and if you're cheating, stay off the jumbotron, man.
Or don't pull away from each other.
Or don't cheat. There's
Or
that-
don't cheat.
There's that too. I hope we've all learned some valuable lessons here. That is going to do it for us this week. We'll see you next time on Get to the Hook.